Hello, I'm Frost, and welcome to my in-depth guides for Age of Wonders Planetfall, where I look at the strategies and tactics through gameplay for a particular faction and secret tech. In this particular episode, we're at episode 3 with the Shakarn with the Heritor, so it's a DLC special. Okay, time to move forward. First of all, a quick recap. We're at turn 63. And I had plans, and the plans were that I was going to war with, let's have a look, with Femita and Raxoni and Vorath. I didn't actually start these wars. I was dragged into them by Chin and Eva, with whom I have alliances. Unfortunately, things have changed. So I had a good plan. I was about to move on to Raxoni. So as you can see down south here, I was about to move this unit south. And the Voidbringers arrived, and if we go to the top of my map, up here, here they are. And they're here in force, as usual, with a power of 1958 and a power of 1909, I believe, if I remember rightly. 1903, I wasn't far off, okay. And so we are going to be fighting the Voidbringers. And I have to deal with these guys straight away, otherwise that nest is going to be spawning these guys non-stop, and they're going to basically destroy all of my colonies. I have no choice. I have to double back and deal with it. I could potentially side with the Voidbringers. I haven't had the option yet. I think this literally happened the last turn. I may go down that route as if I decide to fight the Voidbringers, I have to destroy 4 spawner nests and then finally destroy the beacon. Now, if I do that, I win the game. But I have no idea where this beacon is. I had a look on the map and I had a look around for the beacon and I can't see it anywhere. This is a spawner nest over here. Up here I've got, I think it's a raider nest, a reaper bunker. There we go. So that's a spawner as well. And so I can't see any of these other, that's a livestock one and that's a quartzite spawner nest. So I don't know where these Voidbringer nests and beacon are. So they may show up a little bit later. We'll have to see. But in the meantime, I'm obviously going to have to move all my armies up. So I'm going to start doing that straight away. Obviously, I've got expedited movement because I did my augmented. I forgot what it's called now. Let me just bring it up quickly. It's in my society one. Accelerated force deployment. There we go. Which gives me transit infrastructure. So that was done a while ago. We'll come back onto these in a sec. So let me just, in fact, no, let's do that now. So as I said at the end of the last episode, I believe, I was working on cast advancements, which gives me good bonuses for my hollow shift infiltrator units. So I'm going to do that. And then after that, I'll probably do dissemination rituals so I can get this Estique conduit, which gives me 20% damage and also allows me to use essence charges. So that may come in pretty handy as well. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. And like I said, I don't bother with the Sonicon as I think it's underpowered. I'd much rather use tacticians, to be honest, and even firebrands. Then on my society research, I'm going to be needing Cosmite. So that's going to be kind of my area that I'm going to work on next. I will probably, let me see, I don't think I'm going to get any more Cosmite now until I get Cosmite Mastery. So what I'll do instead then is I will work on my my developments, so my tier 6s, and get those sorted. I could potentially use the insurrection program as well, simply because obviously I get bonuses with the Shakarn. So yeah, I'm going to move everybody north. I'm going to try and get a few more units built. So you can see I've got a infiltrator building there at the moment. I'm building up my infrastructure. In fact, I may want to do that everywhere. Make sure that my infrastructure is as good as it can be. Yeah, that's a 1680. That's my capital. Ivory Fortress. Yeah, so I've already done that and put that in place. So I may need to hurry these along, although it's expensive to do that. Yeah, 600 energy, so I don't really want to do that. Otherwise, I won't have any energy left for tactical operations. But if I go in force now and take out this spawner nest, then I will hopefully be in a much better situation. All right, so catch up with you in a little while and I will give you more news. So we've moved forward to turn 66 and we now know what the situation is kind of with the Voidbringers. So there wasn't actually a spawner nest, they just sort of appeared there. And one of the Voidbringers attacked Chrome Citadel and lost, which was great. Unfortunately, they did manage to beat Ivy Fortress, but they did get weakened in that process. And I've managed to get 4 fully kitted out armies there. And since then, the Voidbringers have arrived. So there we go. There's the beacon right there in Raging Gorges. And I will be made to take a decision as to whether I side with the Voidbringers or fight them in the next turn, I imagine. Now, I could get there, and it really depends where the other spawner nests are. If they're to the south, then at least I'm fighting on all fronts in the same direction. If they're not, then I may have to side with the Voidbringers. So we're going to have to see what we're going to do there. In the meantime, what I will do is I will use a tactical operation, probably Curse of the Extique. Yeah, there we go. So this basically will do 20% damage if it's successful on the army. There we go. So they're weakened as well. We might as well weaken them with an operation. There you go, 1440. So that should ensure, let me prime that straight away, that should ensure now that I should be able to beat them comfortably without any losses in auto combat, which would be the ideal way of doing this. Let's move that unit over to the back there, and then this unit can roll on in. Let us in this tragedy, yes please. Very low risk battle. And yeah, well, we still lost a couple of units. We lost a Raider and we lost a Firebrand, but that's okay. That's not bad considering the Voidbringers are really, really tough as they have a tendency to spawn other units. We can now claim back Green Refuge for Chrome Citadel as well, which they took earlier. So I have to make sure that I give that back its specialization as well. So that's the situation we're at right now. And I will let you know who sides with what side with the Voidbringers in a turn or so. In the meantime, I was moving, actually, let me do that now. I was moving into these kind of mountain ranges with my scout. There we go. So now I can deploy the monitor. Can I deploy monitor? Have I done that? Yes, there it is. So we're going to launch that now. We're going to keep that in the mountains. There we go. So they're less likely to move over the monitor and disrupt it. And now I can at least see the capital. So I will probably move to here. And then we'll drop another monitor. Can I deploy one straight away? Let's start priming. That's going to take a turn. So hopefully you won't get attacked. I'll be able to deploy another monitor around this area. And then at least I get a good view of what's happening in the territories of Raxoni. In the meantime, I will head back south as I was planning. And try and at least take Telendriel. That would be rather handy. And I am building more units. So I've got a tactician here. Let's. I won't mod him up just yet. I'll wait till everyone arrives. But what I am doing with my mods anyway is I will probably be putting on the Confiscator, which allows me to use those essence charges, and the Xeno Defense module, which gives me really good defense against status effects, which is a weakness of the Shakarn. And I will go through all of these and double check them all anyway. In fact, let's do that now so I can mod this one. So yeah, we want to put on the Confiscator. Let's put that in mod 2. There we go. In mod 3, we'll put in the Xeno Defense module. And then up here, we'll do a 20% damage, I think. So actually, no, we'll do orbital recall systems because then that gives us a shield. But also it means we can move the tactician, and as the tactician can only grab people with a fallback to heal them, that would be extremely handy, I think. So there we go. So we'll put in much more defensive kind of behaviors with these mods. Okay, and then I will mod the other tactician once I've moved further south and caught up with him again, because I don't want him caught on his own and I lose the colony and then I lose all the Cosmite. I'm doing plus 33 Cosmite, which is really, really good per turn. My influence is going back up as well, which that'll be handy because then I can build loads of forward bases. I need to make sure that these are staying at 800, so I don't have to worry about using my influence to affect anybody because I'm either at more or I'm in an alliance at max points. So all good there. All right, I'm going to move forwards a few turns and we will see where things go from there. We're now at turn 68 and we are back where we started at the beginning of this episode with all my units back in Silicon Valley. Still nothing going on with the Voidbringers, so that's all good. What I am doing, though, is I've done my research and dissemination rituals, and I'm going right up the top here to Gamma Omnitech Research, as I really want this mod, the Trigger Phase System. So essentially it gives them plus 30% damage, plus 3 resistance to all damage channels, and +2 armor. So yeah, this is pretty useful. And also, unit gains resurgence till the end of combat and enters defense mode. At the start of the next turn, the unit gains insanity, attacking enemy units at random for 3 turns, which is also good. Not the real reason why I want it, but obviously, as I'm making really good Cosmite, +33, that means that I will be able to hopefully put this on a lot of my units, which will give me a lot of power. On top of that, in Neo Yora, my capital, I'm training up my last level of Cosmite, my level 3. So I've got 2 more turns, and then I'll get another +5 Cosmite, which would be great. That'll take me up to +38. And also, I got a bonus of this high energy scanning station. And what it does, it increases my vision range of my colony. And that's pretty important because obviously I'm at war with Fomita. And whilst we've got this mountain range between us, that is still pretty close to my capital. There's no buffer colonies in between. Although the last time we checked in the last episode, old Chin here was busy attacking down south, although it's all gone a bit quiet. In the meantime, though, both Chin and Ava, who I have an alliance with, have decided to share vision with me, which means I get to see their maps. Unfortunately, they've not done much exploring. At least now I know where Vorath is, although I can only see 3 of his colonies, Exalted Fortress, Neo, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one, but XVR. But I could see Ava down here. And if we go to her military, you can see her main block of armies is down here in Norridon. And then she's got a few more up in Cavingdon. And then Chin is kind of spread out all over the place. He's obviously got stuff on his borders with Vorath. And then some more armies over here. But doesn't seem to be doing anything to attack Fomita, which is what I really wanted. So I'm going to go ahead with my plan as before, which was to move south onto Raxoni. Unfortunately, my little recon unit did die. He died in the mountains. And I can see there's a lot of armies here, so I've got to be a little bit careful. I may need to send another scout down, in fact. So have I got a spare scout? Yeah, there we go. So let me start sending him south straight away. So I got an idea of just what I'm taking on, as there's no point in whelping all my armies. And that kind of wraps it up for turn 68. It was kind of more of an update, but it gives you an idea of kind of what my plans are at this stage. So we've moved forwards a few turns, and I'm now being presented with the choice. Do I join the Voidbringers, or do I fight the Voidbringers? And the decision comes down to who do I think is going to be easiest to beat, because if I join the Voidbringers, then I no longer have to fight them. And as you saw, their army powers are normally pretty high. They're normally sort of close to 2,000. And they come in from all directions and wreak havoc on your colonies. If I join them, then I have to fight the NPC factions and also whichever side decides to fight against the Voidbringers. And I think in this case, it's going to be my better option. Whilst I've integrated with the Therians and they're all over my territory, they are nowhere near as powerful. And they go in smaller pockets. So their armies are generally smaller. There are more of them, but they're smaller. So I should be able to wipe them out fairly easily. Much easier than dealing with the Voidbringers. Also, if I fight the Voidbringers, then I will have to go and find 4 of their spawner nests, destroy all 4 spawner nests, and then have to take out the beacon, which is a lot of territory to cover, during which time I will be attacked by anybody that's joined the Voidbringers. So I am going to give in and join the Voidbringers. That is going to be my decision. So this will instantly trigger war with NPC factions and any commanders that haven't joined the Voidbringers, as I mentioned. So I can now summon the Voidbringers to my aid, though. All right, so there we go. So I will work out what I'm going to do next. I will find out probably on the next turn. Here we go. So I'm at war with everybody. So I'm the only one to have joined the Voidbringers. Well, that makes it interesting. I'm going to need all the help I can get then. So either I think I'm going to have to launch a Doomsday weapon at this rate. Luckily, that's not too far away. I have quite a bit of Cosmite as well. So I don't think I'm going to be able to take everybody out. I think the Doomsday weapon is going to be the way to go. Luckily, I had the shared vision, so I can still see where these armies are. So yeah, there's not too many from Chin. And there's only a few armies down here as well. I've got another recon here that was trying to get into the mountains. Let me do that right now. and deploy that monitor before he dies. Before I forget. To deploy the monitor, there we go. Launch now. And we'll pop that right there. There we go. So at least I can now see what's going on. And then we'll hide him somewhere in the mountains. And hopefully he'll be left alone. Right, so yeah, I have my work cut out. I am at war with the Paragon, I'm at war with the Therians, and as you can see there are actually quite a few armies. Alright, I'm going to have to double back. As all my units are down here, they are all going to be heading north, back into my territory, so that I get my accelerated movement on the next turn. So it's turn around, we need to run back and sort out this big issue. Alright, here we go then. Okay, we're at turn 73 and things aren't quite as dire as I thought. First up, if we have a look here, we can see that, there we go, Vorath has sided with the Voidbringers with me. So it is the Shakarn and Kirko and Chin versus Femita, Raxoni and Eva. So things haven't changed that much. Only Ava has now become an enemy and Vorath has moved onto my side. So overall, that's better. Obviously, I have to still deal with the Therians. I had a quick look on my map. I have some armies down here who are marauding as they have the little red things around them. And then I have another two more units up here. So I think I'm going to run down here, clear out these units here, and then run up here and clear these units. The other ones don't have the little red markers around them, which means they are on sites, and they should therefore stay on their sites and not bother me. On top of that, I now have two strategic operations available to me. I have Call Spawner, which brings down a Voidbringer spawner on target sector. But even better, I can call the Voidbringers themselves. I can bring down a whole stack. So what we're going to do is we're going to really mess up Raxoni's day, as Raxoni keeps killing my little recon units. And we can see that Raxona's capital's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the Voidbringers. I'm going to launch that, and we're going to drop it right on a doorstep, I think. There we go, right there. Is that all? Oh, come on, I thought we were going to get more than that. I normally side with the Voidbringers. This is kind of new to me. So I wouldn't say that's a particularly good army. Let's try the other one. Call Spawner, launch now. And any land sector. Well, okay, so that's not valid. Target not valid. Okay, so it's any land sector that's outside of a colony. Alright, okay, so if we pop him right here, there we go. And... Alright, so we will find... Oh, actually, that's much better. That looks like it's actually put a spawner nest. So clearly the spawner nest is the one that's much better. Although, okay, it takes more energy while the other one takes influence. Okay, so that's good to know. So I will prime that in a minute once I've built up a little bit more energy, and we'll drop some more of those. I think that'll be handy. In the meantime, I've started building my spires in Chrome Citadel Ivory Fortress, and I'm going to build another one in Neo Yora. So I'm going to have one spire in Green Refuge, my Doomsday Weapon, another one in Sapphire Summit, and then we'll have one in Neo Yora in Crevice Excavation I can't use. I think I remembered this last time, so I can't actually pop one there. So it means I will have to put one in Temple Mountain instead, I think. That's going to be my option. So there we go. So we'll pop one in Temple Mountain. We'll at least get these spires built. It's going to take quite a few turns. That's only going to take 3 turns, but it's going to take 10 turns on these other ones as they're not specialized on production. So that's all good. And then we will start building some armies as well once we build up a little bit more Cosmite. So in the meantime, I think I will run down and deal with these armies. Can I reach them in one go? Not quite. I can get right on my doorstep there. There we go. So let's do that and put ourselves in a position where we are ready to fight for the next turn. That will be an auto combat as I have overwhelming forces. That should not be an issue. And we are good to move forwards. Okay. We've now moved forward to turn 76. I cleared out, I mentioned there were Therians at the beginning, but of course they are spacers. But yeah, earlier on I said there were Therians. I've been dealing a lot with the Therians when I've been streaming. That's why I got them confused. But anyway, spacers. I got rid of the spacers near Silicon Valley. That was really straightforward. I lost a couple of infiltrators as a consequence, but I had a pair of these guys, melters, which I got from when I was still integrated with the spacers. I've modded them up, so I gave them an exoskeleton, so then I got massive armor. Gave them the confiscator so they can get the Essus charges, so that we can use that in conjunction with our siphoneer. And then I've given them the conduit mod as well, which gives them a 20% ability and allows them to do an Essus blast charge as well as their makeshift acid jet. So that's a good little combo. My hero is actually not looking too healthy there, so let me do a blessing of the Estique, and we will do that now on, I forgot which army it was. Is it that one? No. Oh, hang on, he can power up as well. So let's give him his skill points before I forget. What we're going to want for him, essence shields, free essence. Yeah, let's do that for our hero. I think that's a good one to use. And steady aim, we're not going to be undercover. So there's nothing else that we can use at this point. So we will just confirm those three, and that's done. So let me just find my where my command. There we go. So it was this guy here that needs healing. So let's do Blessing of the Estique. We'll launch that now and give him a bit of healing. There we go. Because what I want to do next is, there we go. That's looking a little bit better. Let me make sure that I prime that again as well. That's only 40 energy. That's that handy. And then what we'll do is we'll just move forwards here. We've got so much power. We're not going to use our tactical operations. We're going to auto combat. And hopefully that will be straightforward. We lost a few units. I'm not too bothered. Just for the sake of moving this forwards, I would rather just... Oh, okay. We got some Cosmite bonus. That was good. I will take that. And then what we'll do is we can now move forwards and take, hopefully, this last spawner nest here. This time we will use our tactical operations. And that should clear it out. Yeah, there we go. So we lost one melter, so that's not really an issue. Okay, so I can replace those guys pretty quickly anyway, because as you can see down here, I have really good production facilities. So in fact, I can fill a few more slots actually. So I may want to, I want to take, there we go. I want to take, I'm taking 0. Okay. We will do is we will build, let me see, I could actually build these. No, I will wait. I could really do with this one, to be honest. I'll put that in my queue so I don't forget, because I could really do with more energy. But unit wise, let's see, we could use, we got, yeah, let's use another firebrand. I like the firebrands. I don't normally do melee very often, but I do like those units. So we'll do an infiltrator as well. There we go. Pop those in the queue and then they will fill up. But the main thing is now, if you look at my map, I don't have any issues with any enemies near me now. I'm pretty much left to my own devices. This spawner here is still doing its thing. I will drop another one of those, but I can see that there's very few armies now that are around for Raxoni. So that's clearly created some problems for her. And for Mita, I'm not seeing any armies either. So I'm looking pretty good at the moment. So I will build my spires in 7 turns max. And then obviously then it's 10 turns to prime the weapon. And then another 10 turns after that to then survive. So I have that as an option as well. Obviously I've got some Voidbringers here that are now protecting me. So that's all good. I can upgrade this hero. And what have we got? Do we want to give him a piloting? No, we're going to go with Range Specialist, I think. Just because he's got a really good weapon. And I would rather have that. And oh, the other thing as well that I need to mention, whilst I think about it, I've got no Cosmite at the moment. But I have now trained up the Gamma Omnitech research, which gives me the trigger phase systems. And then I'm doing Perfect Resonance, which also gives me a 30% mod, but also gives me this field-wide resonant frequencies, which is, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I believe, gives me the equivalent to Acid Rain for the Amazons, where every turn it generates 6 damage and also reduces their resistance to my weapons for 2 turns. So it costs a lot to prime. It costs 8 to prime, but as it works for each turn on the tactical map, that is pretty good. So there you go. So that's where I'm at the moment. I'm going to keep on producing more units. I'm going to move my armies back to Caracalos and then decide whether I move south or whether I do something else. So we will find out in a minute. Okay, so I literally turned off the recording, pressed the next turn, and I got this pop up. And I thought it was kind of funny because, as you can see, it's get off our turf, noob. You think yourself OP. Well, actually I am. I am Frosty's OP. So you are wrong. Our guild is the most OP on this server. Well, that is to be decided. But I have to say, they do have quite a lot of armies here. Oh, no, that's not the army I was expecting. Okay, so that's the Paragon. But I can see here, where was it? In Chrome Citadel, there's rather a large assault here coming from the spaces. So I'm going to have to deal with that. I'm going to have to run over there and deal with that, especially as I'm building my my spire. I'm not going to be able to protect it, even though I've got it pretty much the militia power almost to its maximum. That kind of caught me unawares. So we will find out how that happens. I have got Operation Effectiveness 4 now, though, which is great. So I'm going to be putting that to good use. And I think maybe our virtual hospitality systems might be a good idea, just so that I can start healing within my own colonies, as I got a feeling I'm going to be on a defensive mode here. So we are going to research that next. Then I can see as well that I can have another doctrine. So what we can have is we can have Dwelling Intimidation. Obviously, we're not going to be dealing with APC factions now because we're only dealing with the Voidbringers. Active Agent Networks gives us +4. Now, this is something that's been a real problem for me, that I've not been able to infiltrate Operations Center because my alert levels have been too weak, my operational offense. So I think we will go down that route. Yeah, we don't want to fight mechanical units, and we're not going to raise any colonies anytime soon. So yeah, let's go with this one. And then hopefully then I can start using some of my covert ops and use that to my benefit. I would like to call the spawners again, but I'm still low on energy. And this Chrome Citadel is actually my energy one. I've actually redirected it to production so that I could build this spire, but that may actually now work against me. So what we'll do is we will move forwards a couple of turns and see how this all plays out. We are now at turn 79. We just had a new world event, and this is going to take for 10 turns. Now, hurry production costs 50% less, which is probably going to be useful for me, although I'm pretty tight on energy still until I get this spire built and I can get sort of focused back on energy again. It may actually be worth me using that Cosmite to try and get myself another colonizer. Although whether I can maintain a colony in this kind of war situation is another matter, as one of the problems with building colonies late in the game is that any marauder can just come along before you got your military infrastructure in place and decimate your colony, which means you need to leave an army behind to protect it, which means you then can't go forwards and attack other things. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. So I'm going to have to try and decide where I go. It means that cyborg and mechanical units are healed for 8 vitality during tactical combat and have an additional 10% chance to fumble their attacks and abilities. So, yeah, cyborg units just not worth it, but it doesn't bother me anyway because I'm not affected by it, really, as I don't really have any mechanical units. All my guys are deserting. I had some spacers in my armies, and they deserted. So one deserted, I don't know where he's gone now. He's disappeared already. And then this guy now has clearly just deserted now, which is, there we go. Look, units deserted. There we go. But that's okay, I can do without them. It does mean that I need to move these units now into, merge these guys together until I can build up on some more armies. So I could do with building 2 more armies. I have got a hero that needs upgrading here. Oh, that's my main hero, a Nolis Rocket. And I want to try and get a Nolis into advanced piloting. So I'll be able to do that. Now I'm still going to be 1 point short, I think. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm going to be 1 point short, so it's going to take a while, but we will get there eventually. But I have managed to clear out the spaces that were affecting. I lost Helicon Heights, so I need to annex that sector again and then rebuild that specialization. I do have loads and loads of influence. Can I buy Voidbringers? No, so unfortunately I can't use it to buy Voidbringers. No, they are my overlords as well, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. That is the choice I made. That is fine. So what I'm going to have to do then is, I've got a colony here that's a little bit upset as well. Let's have a look. Nothing we can do, so we will have to build some botanical gardens, but that'll only take 2 turns, and it's not going to affect them for another 6 turns. Okay, so that's fine. So we've got that covered. As you can see, I'm building like firebrands and dead eyes and things. Let's move these guys together. So I'm in a pretty good position. I'm looking back out the map again. I'm obviously 4 turns away from building all my spires. So I'm looking pretty good. The Kyoko over here are pretty strong. So I've got to be a little bit careful of that. But I can see that Raxoni's got problems with these spawners, and there's more and more of them spawning here. So that's keeping her busy. So I'm pleased that I did that. And if I had more energy, I would drop them all over the place. But I don't at the moment. But there we go. So that's turn 79, and we are going to progress forward. We're now at turn 80, and everything is quiet on all the fronts at the moment. As you can see, I'm starting to rebuild my armies quite nicely. I've almost back up to 4 full armies now, and I'm going to continue building. So I've got a tactician coming in a couple of turns there, and I will probably build... what should we build? Let's do a firebrand as well. No, actually... Yeah, we'll go with a firebrand, I think, and go for our Demok units rather than anything else. Okay, so that's going to take 3 turns. That's fine. I'm in no rush. One of the things that I did remember, though, is I did actually do my active agent networks, which gives me +4 on my infiltrate operations center. So I'm going to put that to good use now, as I really need more energy. So I'm going to launch that. And clearly Fermita is a good target, as I've got an 80% chance of success. So we're going to launch that now. There we go. So that's not been detected. And I don't think that takes effect immediately. So I've got 30 in this area, 24 to 23. Okay, so let me check my energy siphon. And have I got that trained up? No, probably not. There we go. So that's 30 influence. Well, there we go. That's good use of my influence points, which I've not been using. I've got that immediately. So let's do that. Launch that now. And I've got a 60% chance. Okay, let's take that. Okay, that one failed. So what we'll do is we'll trigger it again. And then hopefully I'll just keep doing that until hopefully that's going to go through. I need to also do another infiltrate operations center, as I will use that on somebody else as well. So we'll do that after our energy siphon. And in the meantime, I'll keep on building armies. Obviously now it's only 2 more turns since Ivy Fortress has its spire, and 3 turns for Chrome Citadel. And then Chrome Citadel will also then be able to get back its energy exploitation, which will allow me to boost this back up, turn off the production, put everybody back into energy production, which is going to help me, as I really need to build up my armies if I'm going to launch my Doomsday Weapon. I also need to get my research going properly as well. I believe Ivory Fortress was a research plant, yeah. And Silicon Valley as well, I think, could do research, yeah. So I need to probably put those onto research soon, as if we look at my... not wrong one. We look at my skill tree. It's 5 turns before I get force conversion, and then another 14 turns before I can launch my Doomsday Weapon. And I really want to speed that up if I can, as I want to try and get this done as quickly as possible, and then just use spawners everywhere to just keep everyone at bay. It does seem to be working well on Raxoni. She looks very busy down here with this spawner nest, and it looks like, I would assume those are possibly spawners. I don't know, but either way, I'm not sending more recons down there because Raxoni keeps destroying them. But yeah, it's keeping her busy. No one's attacking my borders. And if I zoom back out and go back to military again, yeah, I can see that. There we go. So Chin is over here keeping busy in trying to protect his borders. All right, so let's keep on moving forwards then. We're now at turn 83, and I've tried to use my my covert ops, and I've been dreadfully unsuccessful. I managed to get a research tap onto Fermita, and now Fermita's doing an internal purge, so that will most likely be discovered, and I won't get the research tap. Every time I tried to do an energy siphon, it failed, I tried it twice on Raxoni and it didn't work out. So I'm not going to bother anymore, and I've gone old school. So I've used all of my remaining energy pretty much to start building a colonizer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the colonizer here in District 7 next to the Voidbringers because they're my buddies. And then hopefully I can then generate my income that way and specialize that colony on energy production. I am going to try trigger war with faction. We might as well. So let's see if I try and for meter. There we go. Okay, that's good. So that means at least for meter now is at war with the spacers. So that will keep him busy. But yeah, I'm going to stop on my covert ops now and just focus much more on just going old school, building up my research as well. So I'm also doing sensor technologies, which will boost up my operational strength. So hopefully maybe then I can revisit my covert ops and see if I can do a little bit better with that. So we'll have to revisit that. And what I'll do is I'll do covert ops that use influence, as that's a better option, so that I'm not using any of my energy. So that will be things like, I think it's research taps that I can use my influence for. Let's have a look. No, research taps is energy. So energy siphon is the one that uses, and it needs to be primed. There we go. That was the one that uses influence. So we'll do that. We'll prime that. And we'll give that another go once I've got my sensor technologies. So if you remember something I mentioned earlier about putting down colonies and not being able to defend them straight away, that's exactly what's happened. So I put down my colony in Ivory Tower in order to get myself some energy. Immediately attacked by marauders and lost. So I'm going to have to send some armies down there to make sure that I can take that back and get that in place. My energy is building up now plus 175. So that's looking a lot better. But then I can also see that we've got some marauders down here as well. So 1700 and 1255, I can't protect that with just the militia only. So we're going to have to send units down to take care of that. And then we're going to have to send another army as well to take care of this one over here. So I'll take my weakest army, I think. So that's got a 1280. Whoops, hang on. Let's just go over these. So I've got 1348, 1865. That's just a unit on its own. 1694 and 1280. Right, so I'll take my army of 1280 and we'll just take them down here and take this back. We'll attack. That should be a very low risk battle. There we go. And one. Good. And then we need to then take care of these marauders, and I should have enough power to take care of that. No, we leave that for now. I don't want to do the site. Can we get to both sides of this guy? Yeah, so I can get one on that side as well. And then we can then move in. Might as well use some tactical operations as we have them. Curse of the Estique, please. Launch now. And launch that on there. There we go. So that's damaged them as well. And make sure that we prime that straight away. Curse of the Estique, where are you? There we go. Prime now. And then we can send our final army down there to take these guys on. So there you go. Very low risk battle. And hopefully that will resolve. And we lost 2 units. Okay, that's fine. Good. So we'll take that reward and then we'll gather everyone back up in Caracalos again. The good news is my research has been boosting up. So I am now 4 turns away from being able to launch my Doomsday weapon. I have also gained deep infiltration, which allows me to locate armies, which is going to be useful for when I deploy my Doomsday weapon, as I will then be able to see the incoming armies, which direction they're coming from in advance. And then we can then train up global information control so that we can steal some Cosmite maybe. Or I could go the other way and go for the Cosmite Rift. No, we will go for this one. The Cosmite Mastery I can worry about later. Global income, see that? Yeah, there's 17 turns. Even if I go this way and research that one, it's still 12 turns, yeah. So we will go with global information control for now. And like I said, I will leave this army here. I will put another unit in there though, just to make it a full 6. So that's protected, and then we can get back to the business at hand. So obviously I need to go back and build my central reactor core. And then we want our standard military infrastructure, and we want at least our sonar turrets in there as well. All right, and we can upgrade our commander. So finally, 7 skill points. So I'm still 1 skill point short of getting my my advance. So I'm clearly not going to get my refractor in time. So I'm better off just getting some other things. So we'll do Domar Constructors, which gives +10 crit chance and +2 resistance to status effects. So we will do that. And Essence Seeker, 4 strength chance to apply energy drain. Okay, well, we're not going to use melee Overwatch anyway, so we might as well just apply that and use some of our Heritor tech. Alright, so that's going to end the turn there. And hopefully I'll get back to you in a few turns' time when I'll be priming my Doomsday Weapon and getting all my armies together, and we'll hopefully have loads of energy. Turn 91, and we've managed to get this far now in these last few turns without any drama. And first things first, I've got pretty much all my armies ready to go. I'm at 5 units for this army here, and I've got an infiltrator building in Silicon Valley. I need 1 more unit to get a full set of units for this army that's currently in Ivory Tower. All my spires are built, and I have completed Final Revelation, which allows me to launch my Doomsday Weapon. Now, to prime it's going to cost me 500 energy. And let me see if I can find it. Here it is, Final Rapture. So you can see I need 500 energy. So I'll be able to do that on the next turn, as I'm now getting +263 energy each turn, which is good. And now in a minute I won't need to build any more units. And then I can then focus all my units that are also doing research onto energy as well, because that's the thing that I'm going to need the most. I have plenty of influence, which is fine. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've received a proposal from Varath. He wants open borders. I'm going to decline that. The last thing I need is for him to be running through my borders. But I do have my core spawner. And I did prime that, and I think that is worth spending right now and popping it right next to the Kirko. Because the Kirko are the ones that are the closest to me that are going to create issues. I can see some armies down here that may come up when I launch my Doomsday Weapon, but we will try something else for Raxoni. So let's call a spawner. Let's launch it, and where can I put it? Okay, so I can't actually put it directly in the sectors, but I can put it right next to... There we go, let's put it right there. Look at that. Ooh. Good, excellent. So, if I get more energy, I might even put another spawner nest somewhere near Femita, just to annoy him. Raxoni's still not cleared out the spawner nest, as you can see. So, world of hurt for Raxoni. So that's really working to my advantage. Alright, so let me prime my Doomsday Weapon and I'll get back to you. I'm now at turn 96. I got a little bit delayed as there was a Spacer's spawner point right next to Chrome Citadel. It was this landmark, and for some reason the Spacers were actually spawning there, so I had to go off, remove the armies, which cost me a few armies to do. But I have got the Imperial up defense though, so that's pretty cool. In fact, that should mean that I can now... there we go, orbital defense. What does it give me? Domain every 3 turns. Okay, yeah, we can prime that, as I'm not priming anything at the moment. And we might be able to use that in some of our colonies if we get time. But I also got siphoned, which, as you can see, no, it was on the last turn. I got siphoned, which removes some of my energy as well. And I've had to build some new units, but that's all done now. And I'm in a position, I think, where I can launch my Doomsday Weapon. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to launch that now. There we go. Launch. And we got 10 turns to hold our ground. What I will do as well is, because I can still share vision for some reason with Chin, I can still see all his armies. And most of them are a long way away. And he's obviously got problems with his spawners that are here. Raxoni I can also see from the monitors that I deployed. Most of our armies are down here and don't look too substantial. So the only one I don't really know about is Femita. Now, obviously, I've got that mountain range, but I have got the locate armies, strategic operations. So let's see if I can use that. I've got a 65% chance. So let's try it. Failed. Okay, well, it's worth a try anyway. I'm now going to be keeping all of my energy to build units and to keep some back for tactical operations. I will bring back as well this army here from Ivory Tower now. Now I can wait a turn before I do that. Oh wow, I've got a lot of... I've ended up with a lot of infiltrators in that army. Okay, well, that's fair enough. We might be able to put that to good use. All right, so we will see what happens. See if it's a close battle, and then it'll be manual combat. If not, it will be auto combat. But I will catch up with you and let you know what happens over the next 10 turns, if anything does happen. We're now at turn 99, and I am 7 turns away from Doomsday Victory. And everything is pretty quiet from Chin over on his side. I'm not seeing any armies there. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit careful with Chrome Citadel, as that's one of the colonies that has one of my spires. But Raxoni is getting busy. Raxoni is coming up from the south here and starting to attack me. So what I'm going to do is I may move my armies down, but then I would leave Chrome Citadel unprotected. And I can afford to lose Silicon Valley. But in the meantime, what you can see, she's already done Untangling Overgrowth on Ivory Tower. But that doesn't really bother me either. I have plenty of energy now. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to call spawners. There you go. I can call some spawners and I can launch them. And let's pop them. Where can I pop them? Where's this? Target not valid. Okay, I can pop them here. What I really want, though, actually, I can call the Voidbringers and then I can pop them right on top of my colony, right? There we go. So that's immediately boosted up my colony a little bit. We're going to bring some extra spawners in. Just might as well. So we'll pop them. So we can't pop them there. We can still pop them in near Raxoni's territory, I think. That's going to... She's left pretty thing uncovered. I could pop them right there. There we go. So we're going to drop those on that sector as well. So that's going to keep even more spawners for her to deal with. And then I can then use my Curse of the Extique. And which is the strongest army? 1400, 785. Yeah, so that one. So what we'll do is we'll do Curse of the Extique and we'll launch that now. And just start wearing down these armies as well. And then that should help us. So I will call my Voidbringers again. In fact, I could do that right now. Look at that. Straight away. Curse of the Extique will take 1 turn. So I might as well call my Voidbringers again. And we'll pop them right here. There we go. So we're starting to protect our colony with loads of Voidbringers. And we'll see how that plays out. So these armies aren't too powerful. 646. But I do have a full militia here. And it also makes... It's occupying all the spaces. Obviously, I've got my Heritor units as well. That are caused from the Doomsday Weapon that pop up here. They're only like small units. They're not very powerful. But I've got a Raider there as well. That's handy. So, yeah, I will just keep on building units as well. So I've got plenty of energy and Cosmite. So we can build another Raider. There we go. That's going to take 1 turn. We'll make sure we use the modded ones. We might as well. And we'll build another Raider here as well. So let's do that. Have I got enough Cosmite? We can build a perceptive one. There we go. All right. So there you go. I will catch up with you in the next turn or so as and when things move forwards. We've now made it to turn 101. We have a new world event. This time it is the White Star Supernova. So every turn, a few sectors will be terraformed to volcanic. Units have all resistances reduced by 3, but then that affects everybody. So I'm not too concerned about that. And I'm not concerned about morale too much from volcanic. As I believe that I had the thing that meant that I'm not affected by volcanic sectors. I believe it's a doctrine. Did I have that doctrine? I'm trying to remember now. Maybe not. Okay. Either way, I'm not too bothered about the volcanics. As you can see, they've not gone for Silicon Valley, which is pretty well defended now. They're going to go for Ivory Tower instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my Voidbringers again. And I'm going to pop them right there. There we go. Just to make their life as miserable as possible. I don't actually care about Ivory Tower at this stage. I have plenty of energy. We are going to do Curse of the Extique as well on this army of 6. Which is their strongest army. There we go. And we're going to weaken them. So now they've got to fight our militia. They've got to fight these little Heritor dudes. And also my spawners. Whilst I am just happily building units and just reinforcing all of my sectors. In fact, I can build another unit here now, so let's do that. Build another Altered Raider there, and I still have enough to build another Altered Raider here as well. There we go. Right, so we're producing units all over the place. I've moved an army over to Chrome Citadel just because I could see there's an army of 6 here from Chin. So I just to be on the safe side, I've got these Heritor dudes, but they're not very powerful. But I do have 12 of them, which is pretty cool. Actually, no, I have 14 of them. So they're all ganging up there. I did have a Voidbringer hanging around there as well, but he disappeared. He decided he had something better to do. He's wandered up there now. There you go. You need to go and attack Chin, okay? Stop wandering around my territory. All right, so what we'll do is we'll just do an end turn. In fact, I'll do that live now. We might as well find out what's going to happen. And then we'll be 5 turns away from the Doomsday Weapon. So it takes a little while for everyone to move. This is a lot of action on the map. They're actually going to attack? Or are they going to think about it? Yep, impossible battle. Attacker power of 3,600, but at least we've got a pretty good defender power now. So we're going to auto-combat that. And maybe, hopefully, it will affect their forces a little bit. No, they didn't lose anybody. Well, it was worth the try anyway. So there we go. And in fact, the spawners did nothing. They didn't even come to help. And now they're going to attack them. It's a little bit late now. So yeah, the spawners are gone as well. And now, here we go. So now they're moving into Caracallos. Now that's an issue, because with Caracallos, obviously, that's where I've got Temple Mountain, which is my spire. So I'm going to have to go in and attack these guys. Although, I mean, they're not looking too powerful. So I'm going to bring my armies. I'm going to leave my army in Chrome Citadel. I know Chin's moved away now. So Chin's gone completely. The good thing, though, is in Caracallos, I have, on this colony, you can see I have the this thing. Not Final Rapture. I could have sworn I put on a... I put on some the other thing as well, which is the operations. What's it called? Or is they going to take turn next turn? I could have sworn I put on the ability that the orbital up to defense link. I'm pretty certain I put that. I will launch it now. Okay, I could have sworn I did that, but clearly I didn't. So there we go. So that's going to give me some protection as well. Every 3 turns, that's going to do some damage. What we're going to do is we're going to move our armies. We can get everybody right down to here, in fact. So let's just take this to a head. Move these 3 armies down. There, 4 armies, in fact. There we go. So I can move 4 armies down. Obviously, it's only a 3x3, but then I can immediately attack directly behind it with another army if I need to. So we'll pop that one over here on the back. And so that's Silicon Valley's protected. Carcalos is okay. We've still got these guys in Chrome Citadel just in case. But I should be able to deal with 4 armies. I should be able to handle this. So we've got 4 turns to victory. So let's just end turn here. See what happens. And we can always retake Hive Retire if we want to. Although it's more important that I maintain my, my presence where it's needed. Okay, look, they're going to try and go around me now. Oh no, are they going to attack just 2 armies? That would be clever. Yeah, so it's a risky battle. So we're slightly stronger than them. We're going to auto-combat, I think. Let's auto-combat and see how this plays out. Okay, and she lost. There we go. So I didn't even need to manual combat that. Alright, so there we go. So that's put me in a very, very strong position now. I lost 3 armies from there. But it's not like I'm lacking in armies. So we will move them back. Oh, we can do that on the next turn. So, opponents are moving. Alright, so everyone's still moving. Okay, they're going to attack here. But I've got full militia power in my colony, so I'm at 1680 there. Plus, I've also got loads of these Heritor dudes as well. Alright, there we go. I now have Cosmic Mastery. A little bit late, but I suppose I can always add it. It's going to take 3 turns, and we're going to win in 3 turns. There's not even any point in doing that now. We will then... Do I want to retake Ivory Tower? Yeah, I might as well. It's only going to take a sec. There we go. And then I can move back again. And for now, actually, I'm going to leave these guys here because if there's going to be any problems, it's going to be from the south. But there's no armies left, as I can see. So, in fact, we might as well just do this live now, I think. So what we'll do is we'll just end turn. And we'll try and do these 3 turns and see what happens. So the opponents are thinking about it. Let's move back to the military map so I get a view of what's going on. Silicon Valley's a little bit upset for some reason, but that's not really an issue. But yeah, you can see I'm pretty well stocked on armies here. And in fact, these turns are taking quite a while. There we go. All right, so we received a proposal from Chin. Chin still wants his territory, even though it's all about to be blown to pieces. So no, we're going to decline that, Chin. Sorry, Chin, but I've got more important things to do right now. Okay, so let's move these guys back up to Caracallos. There we go. And then I can potentially, we can move these there on top. There we go. Merge those armies. Move that unit to there. There we go. And can we build another army quickly in one turn? Yeah, there we go. We could build an autograder. So let's do that. And we are 2 turns. Okay, so we're going to end our turn again. We're not even going to bother doing research at this stage. It's a pretty moot point. So looking at the overall map again. Yeah, Raxoni, those spawners that I placed down there, I think they created so many issues for Raxoni. And then the spawners I created here for Chin, I think distracted him as well. So that was a good move. So there we go. So we're ready to do our next turn. Quick look at the map. I can't see anybody. So let's move on to our next turn. So we're almost there now. I don't normally do this bit live, but as it's moving fairly fast between turns. Okay, we've got a very low risk battle. Okay, yeah, it's just some marauders. That's fine. Okay, my little dudes there did some help. We've got some Voidbringers floating around as well, just checking out to see how we're doing, to see whether we're going to win. All right, and how are we doing? All right, I think we're almost there. There we go, and we've won. So hopefully you found that useful. I hope you enjoyed that. Please give me a like if you did. You can dislike as well, though you'd have been going almost an hour, I imagine, watching this before you decided you disliked it. But you can dislike. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notifications of new videos. As I have produced a lot of Planetfall content, I will continue to do so. And I hope you enjoyed that. And also do be sure to catch up with me on Twitch. I'm currently streaming Planetfall on Saturday nights, and then I do other sci-fi games on Wednesday nights. Full times for your local time zone are available on twitch.tv/Frosty'sOP or at frostysop.com. That's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Until next time. Bye.